Alright, this is going to be one of my more off-the-wall kind of topics that I wanted to talk about today. So I'm going to need you to stick with me and please watch the whole video in order to understand and not misconstrue my point, because it's going to have some shock value to it, just so I can hopefully get the message across a little bit clearer. But I don't want my words taken out of context, so please watch the whole video to get the full understanding of what I'm trying to convey here. So I'm reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and a quote that I pulled out and I thought really was profound to me was that successful people make decisions rather quickly and they're slow to change their decision if they do at all, whereas people who are unsuccessful are slow to reach decisions if they reach decisions at all, and are very quick to change that decision, and they change it very often. So this is where it's going to get a little bit out of hand, I think. But I'm going to bring up an example of somebody who made a decision and they stuck by that decision and they succeeded in their own right, and they accomplished whatever goal they set out to achieve. And this is just going to be, I'm going to preface this by saying that it's going to just be the concept of what I'm talking about here. In no way am I promoting this type of action or anything like it. It's just going to be to illustrate the concept that I'm trying to get out here. So if you think about this, Hitler, he was a man who made a decision, right? He was a failed artist, so then he chose to do this ethnic cleansing, right? And you could say that he succeeded in his goal. And again, I'm making this clear that I do not condone any of what he's done, or this isn't to glorify whatever he did or say that he was in the right. I'm just saying that in his goal, he achieved success because he made a decision of what he wanted to do. Not saying that it was good at all, because it's not good. And he was very slow to change that decision. So in that pursuit of his goal, he was able to actually achieve it because he wouldn't let other people, if other people tried to speak reason into his mind or whatever. And I'm glad, or there should have been people, I would hope that there would have been people who were trying to tell him that what he was doing was wrong. But the fact that he didn't change his decision and he was unwavering in that decision he made allowed him to reach that level of success, where if we take the hypothetical where he was just indecisive and he was like, maybe I want to do this, maybe I don't, then do you think he would have ever gone through with that? So that would have been the ideal scenario, is that Hitler would have been a person that's not very decisive, because then genocide wouldn't have happened. But that's kind of the point of the video, is that I'm saying he was a decisive person and he was able to achieve his goal. And he even he died on that decision because of what he believed he stood for. And that's kind of basically what I'm trying to get at here. And I guess if we could take another more politically correct example, or a more digestible example, if you're still even watching this far, would be someone like Thomas Edison, right? He invented the light bulb, or he invented the first usable version of the incandescent light bulb. So he had to go through thousands and thousands of trials and attempts and failures before he was able to make this work, this invention that he thought of. So because he imagined, he was desiring, and he demanded this form of a light bulb out of life. So in reaching that decision, he reached that, I don't know if he reached that quickly or not, but he eventually came to that decision, whereas a lot of us don't even make our own decisions in life. And he was able to stick to that regardless of how many times he failed, the thousands of attempts that it took, and the failures that resulted in that. And if he was someone who was quick to change his decisions and changed his decision very often, he would have never discovered this. We would never have this thing right here. I don't know if that's an LED or not, but you kind of get the point. We wouldn't have the progression of light that we do today if he was willing to just change and think of a different example or a different invention every single time he failed. So that's kind of the gist of what I was trying to get at here with today's video, of making sure that we make decisions. Because once you make your decision, try not to let other people get in your way of, influencing your thought, especially if what you're doing is good, right? I'm not saying, oh, if you think that you want to commit genocide, go and do that and don't let anybody change your mind. No, that's stupid. That's not what I'm advocating for. I'm trying to say that if you come to a decision of what you want out of life, and you're not infringing on other people, and it's not in the, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's not in like sacrificing other people's freedoms or anything like that, then I'm all for that. Just go for what you want, and don't let people try to change your mind, because that's when you get indecisive, and then you don't know what you want out of life, and then that's what you get. You don't get anything that you want because you weren't decisive in your desires. So like the video if you found this discussion helpful. I appreciate it if you stayed to the end and actually heard out my points. So thanks for watching. Stay on target, and I'll see you next time.